Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. This is Kristen Burke. I'm the National Marketing Coordinator here at Art Jetter & Company. I'm very happy that you were able to join us today as we kick off 2023. Can't believe it is almost halfway through the first month. Crazy times. So we're going to try and keep the conversation quick, concise, but there's tons of great information that Lori Terry is going to share with you. So Lori Terry is a Regional Managing Director with Ameritas, and her focus is dental vision and hearing with the company. So we have the privilege of having her on the phone with us today and go through the product information. So, but before we begin, we will be recording this call, so you can definitely get a recording afterwards so that you can reference back to it at any point in time. We will send out some handouts. There's no handouts actually in the presentation here today, but we will definitely send some out if you need them. Very happy to do so. And then if there's any questions that you may have during the webinar, there is a section called questions in the menu panel that you can simply type in your questions and we can address those at the end of the call. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'll turn it over to Lori. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Kristen, and thank you everyone who is on the call. I really appreciate your time, and on a Friday the 13th, taking some time this afternoon to learn a little bit more about Ameritas Prime Star products, which are our individual dental and vision. And so today, our agenda, we're going to talk about why standalone dental vision, what's new at Ameritas, why Ameritas, go through our product and just review, or maybe for some of you, this is a review. For some of you, this may be the first time you're hearing the information, but we'll talk about the product as well as some support tools for you as an agent, as well as for your members, and also talk about our quoting system. So to start out with, why standalone dental and vision? And Kristen, do you want to advance? So I know I may be preaching to the choir for some of you, but why standalone dental vision? Because basically, if you don't ask the question, there may be another agent that is going to ask the question, write these lines of coverage with a client, and use this potentially as a wedge to gain other lines of coverage with that individual. Our products we're going to talk about today are available for anyone who is 18 years of age or older. It is not a pediatric dental plan, although you can have children on the plan, but the policy holder needs to be at least 18 years of age, and there's no upper age limit. So you could be 18, 65, 95, 150 years old, and any of these plans are available to your clients. And why standalone? Well, there's less disruption if a client is going to move, for example, their medical plan. If you tie everything together, now not only are you moving the medical, but now you need to also re-enroll, re-explain dental, vision, and other lines of coverage. So there's just less disruption for the client by offering standalone dental vision. And when you're meeting with your clients and talking about the benefits of dental and vision, again, you can detect health issues such as diabetes, high cholesterol, different cancers through a dental exam, through a vision exam. And also increase in learning and productivity. We know that as adults, it's not easy to go to work. If you have a toothache, if you have blurry vision, you're not generally very productive that day when you have those things happening. Likewise for children, if they have a toothache, if they have a cavity, if they have blurry vision, it's hard for them to learn in the classroom. So it increases learning and productivity, which in turn adds value to the lives of your clients, your families. And when you're adding value, your reputation is going to be positive with your clients. And then they're going to want to refer you to other people. They're going to be talking about the great plans, how they've benefited by going in for cleanings or for a vision exam. And you're just going to grow your book of business. So Kristen, next slide. So what's new at Ameritas? Prime Star. We're going to be talking about credit for prior coverage. And we launched this last September, and we're going to have a mini launch again in March 28th. And we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes, as well as adding, it just adds up, commission little by little, a dental plan, a vision plan. It's going to increase your book of business, as well as we're going to talk about the portal, the producer portal, and how you can manage your book of business. Ameritas has been in the dental and vision business for a long time. This is not new to us. We've been offering dental since 1959. Our home office is in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we have product available in all 50 states. We've been in the vision business since 1984, and we have a couple different vision options we're going to talk about. And we have one of the largest networks in the country. When it comes to dental, 98% of those in our network today will be in our network a year from now. And then we're going to talk about our unique product innovation with our dental and vision plans. So, product simplicity. When Ameritas developed and when we launched these products, we were very cognizant to keep in mind product simplicity. I get pretty excited, Kristen knows I get pretty excited about dental and vision. I could talk about this all day, but I know you don't want to talk about dental for hours and hours. So we wanted to be the spumoni, the chocolate, the vanilla, the strawberry of dental. We don't want to have 33 different flavors out there. We want to keep the product simple so that you can explain them to your clients in just a couple minutes. As well as for vision, we have 3 dental plans, 2 vision plans. It's all about product simplicity, as well as member value. It's not just dental. We also incorporate implant coverage, hearing, and it's not just a discount plan, it's true hearing insurance. We have a plan that also has true LASIK insurance, not just a LASIK discount. We also include teeth whitening, Preventive Plus. We're going to talk about that when we talk about products as well. And ease of enrollment. When we talk about our 3 dental plans, you're going to know within the first probably 20 seconds of meeting with your client which plan you want to talk to them about and which one would be best for them. And once they know which plan they want and they go to enroll, it's going to be easy. Everything is online. And as long as they have their banking information, for example, they will be able to enroll in the plan within 3 minutes or less. Very simple. And our plans also include next day coverage. So your client finds out that they need to have a crown, for example, they can apply today and have coverage for that tomorrow. So we offer next day coverage. They're not going to have to wait until the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month. They have next day coverage, and you can quote up to 90 days out. So no waiting periods, next day coverage, and it's zip code rated. Our plans are not age rated. They're based on zip code in each state. Okay. Talking about our network, the importance of networks, and I know all of you have heard about them, networks when you talk about medical, dental, vision. We have one of the largest dental networks in the country. We have over 582,000 access points across the country, over 131,000 unique providers. So what do these numbers mean to you? So for example, if you have one dentist, Dr. Smith, but Dr. Smith has 10 office locations where he can offer services to clients. We are going to count Mr. Smith, Dr. Smith, 10 times because there's 10 different access points where they could receive care. So that's the number 582,000. But if we want to talk about Dr. Smith as just one person, even if he has 10 offices, that's the 131,000. So we have over 131,000 providers that your clients could seek care at. And then over 93,000 locations, unique locations. And we have locations in the US as well as Mexico. And the benefit of going to seek care at someone in our PPO network is that members are going to save on average 25 to 50% savings, which means that their annual max is just going to stretch further. But our plans are not DHMO plans, meaning if someone does seek care at an out-of-network provider, they still will have some coverage. It just may not be as deep or as great of savings as by going to someone within our PPO. Our vision, we offer both VSP, the Choice Network, as well as IMED, the Select Network. And again, with vision, you apply today, you will have coverage to go have a vision exam or to get materials the next day. So we're going to talk about vision. We're going to talk about the no waiting periods on 2 of our 3 plans: product simplicity, member value, and credit for prior coverage. So we have 3 plans, as we indicated before. One is called the total, one is called the access, and one is called the value. Each one of our plans were created and developed for a specific demographic, a specific target audience in mind. But please know that anyone of any age, 18 or above, can enroll in any one of the plans. But the total plan was created with the senior, that 65 plus age group in mind. And that's because day one, they apply today. Tomorrow, that member, each person enrolled in the plan, will have a $2,000 annual max. After 12 months of being on the plan, and these plans run on a benefit year, not a calendar year, but after 12 months of being on the plan, the annual max will bump up to $2,500. Now, Preventive Plus is included on all 3 of the plans. And what that means is that any type 1 claim, such as exams, cleanings, bite wings, do not count against the annual max. So that 2,000 or eventually the 2,500 will be for their type 2 or type 3 claims. And you'll see the deductible. There's no deductible on type 1, but there is a $50 deductible for type 2 or type 3 claims. Now you'll notice dental is broken out into 3 categories: type 1, type 2, type 3, or preventive is type 1, basic is type 2, major type 3. So on day 1, your client applies for coverage today. Tomorrow, they go in to see someone at a network, a PPO provider. Type 1, their exams, cleanings, bite wings are going to be covered at 100% coinsurance. Type 2 at 80% coinsurance. Type 3 at 20% coinsurance. After 12 months of being on the plan, the coinsurance are going to jump up to 100, 90, 50. And these plans also, you'll see with major, that includes crowns, bridges, dentures, implants. So day 1 coverage for implants. And these plans also include the hearing benefit, a hearing exam at any provider up to $75. And also they have day 1 coverage for hearing aids. So day 1, they apply today. Tomorrow, your client could use $200 for hearing aids, and that's $200 per ear. After 12 months on the plan, it would jump up to $300. After 24 months on the plan, it would jump up to $400 per ear. Now that's not per benefit year, but once they use the benefit, then they wait, they're eligible for hearing aids again, but they need to wait 5 years before they can use the benefit again. Now, a hearing benefit is not available in New Hampshire, and Preventive Plus is not available in Florida, as a heads up on that. But that's our total plan. And again, even though this was created for the senior in mind, it would be a great plan option if you know of a family or you know of someone who has a child who also needs hearing aids, because there's no age limit on hearing aids. Now, the access plan, the second plan, was created with that younger family in mind. Someone who may have children who are going to be needing child ortho, for example. So the access plan includes Preventive Plus, LASIK teeth whitening, child ortho, and again has the same increasing annual max. So someone applies today, tomorrow they will have 1,000 annual max, and this is per person enrolled in the plan. So each person in the family would have this. After 12 months, it bumps up to 2,000 per person enrolled in the plan. Preventive Plus and the deductible are the same on all three of our plans, total, access, and value. But you'll notice with this plan design that we have in and out of network coinsurance levels. So day one, preventive is covered 100% if you go to someone in our network, 80% if you seek care at someone outside the network. And again, you'll see the coinsurance levels, how they are in versus out of network the first 12 months, and how they increase, but again, in versus out of network coinsurance levels after that. Now you'll see in this plan as well for type 1, because it was geared with that younger family in mind, because of child ortho or with teeth whitening or with LASIK. But you'll see for here under type 1, it includes more procedures like exams, cleanings, bite wings, but also fluoride, sealants, and space maintainers. And as long as someone seeks care at a network provider, it's covered 100% in network. And you'll see even with child ortho, day one, they enroll today, tomorrow 15% coinsurance towards ortho. Ortho is a lifetime max, it's 1,000 lifetime max, but after 12 months, it bumps up to 50% coinsurance until the 1,000 is met. And with LASIK, someone could enroll today, tomorrow they could go in and they would have $125 to use per eye for LASIK. After 24 months, it bumps up to $250 per eye. Now, LASIK is a lifetime benefit, so someone could have their right eye done tomorrow, but they could wait 3 years to have their left eye done. And then the benefit is $250 for that left eye. The only caveat is that you cannot have LASIK done on the same eye twice. Again, Preventive Plus is not covered in Florida. And that is the access plan. And then our last plan is the value plan. This is the most cost-effective plan. This is perfect for that person who may be turning 26 and they're coming off their parents' plan, or maybe someone who has a pretty healthy mouth and they're waiting to get, for example, on a group plan, but they want to have some coverage. They don't want a gap in coverage. This is perfect for that individual. It's a $750 dental annual max. And again, it includes Preventive Plus. The deductible is the same on the total or the access plan. But you'll notice here, type 1 is covered the first 12 months at 90%. After 12 months, it bumps up to 100% coinsurance. And basic type 2 coinsurance is at 50% the first 12 months, and then it increases to 80%. And this is the only plan that has a 12-month wait on major. And after 12 months, it bumps up to 15%, but there is a wait, and it does not include implants. Now, the only state, Florida, does not allow for a 12-month wait on major, so there's a 6-month wait in Florida, and then it bumps up to the 15% coinsurance. So, next slide. Now, credit for prior coverage. This is something that Ameritas launched last September. And what this means is that if anyone had a credible group plan or a credible individual plan for at least 12 months without a 2-month gap in coverage, they would be eligible to apply and come on at year 2 coinsurance levels. So that means for the total plan, you would come in at the year 2 coinsurance. It's the same with access, same with value, but the annual max and, for example, the hearing or the LASIK or the ortho, they all stay at the year 1 benefit, but the coinsurance levels bump up to year 2, which is great. It's basically like a takeover benefit. So someone, if they were eligible, could, for example, on the total plan, come in at 50% coinsurance on major services. Now, CPC is not available in all states, and you'll see at the bottom of the slide which states currently it is not available in, but we are going to do a mini launch. We've received more approval. More states have approved this. So on March 28th at 7 p.m. Central, you'll see the states there that are listed in red that will also be offering credit for prior coverage. Now, if anyone applies right now today in a state that does not have prior coverage, they cannot cancel and then re-enroll once their state has credit for prior coverage. Our system will flag that. So if you know someone that wants or would benefit from credit for prior coverage, have them wait until, for example, April 1st to apply for coverage in one of the states in red, if that would apply to them. So credit for prior coverage, great benefit. Next slide.
Lori, really quick. So up in the top right-hand corner, is this something that you can click on here?
Yes, thank you. Yes, these are live links, and Kristen will send out an email with this PowerPoint. And so you will all have a copy of this, but the upper right-hand corner, you see, that's a live link, and you will be able to pull that up, and that's a great piece to share with your clients to see if they're eligible for credit for prior coverage or not. And all of the links that are highlighted like that in the PowerPoint are going to be live links as well. Yeah, thank you. Now, some questions to think about when you're meeting with the client about dental. They may have questions about how strong is the network, or what are average savings or the benefits of a network, or how soon can they start their coverage, and what important procedures are covered. For example, our implants, our crowns, for example. What are the waiting periods? And, do you need prior coverage to have them waived? How much coverage do you need? You know the total plan, you know the access, you know the value plan now. You don't want to oversell, but you don't want to undersell. And so by asking some of these questions, you'll be able to find out what is going to be the best plan for your client. So this is where, with a few questions, it's not going to take you long to know, is it total, access, or value? Okay. This slide is a great slide, and I know a lot of agents who have printed this slide, they've laminated this slide, and they have it right next to them when they're meeting with clients. And again, this has a live link, so you can print an example of this there on the left. But this shows the benefit of next day coverage. And this is in the 553 zip code, which is up in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. And you'll see in the light gray, that is a crown. And you'll see the first few columns where it says the cost without insurance. So up in the Minnesota area, without insurance, the average cost of a crown in the 553 zip code is about $1,400. That's without insurance. So now you apply for next day coverage, you apply for the total plan, for example, next day coverage, day one coverage with 20% coinsurance, that the cost of the crown is going to be $642. Now, after 12 months, when the coinsurance bumps from 20% to 50%, now the cost of that crown would be $402. Now, with credit for prior coverage, if someone qualifies for credit for prior coverage, that instead of almost $1,400, day one, the cost of that crown is going to be $402. So this is just seeing is believing and shows the value of staying on the plan or getting to year 2 coinsurance levels. Now, one thing with credit for prior coverage, if someone had a discount plan, if someone had a DHMO plan, if someone had a Med Advantage plan, these are not considered credible coverage. It would not be applicable to apply for the credit for prior coverage. But if they had a true group plan or another true individual plan, member would be eligible for credit for prior coverage. It also shows the filling and a preventive visit example in that as well. And now we talked a lot about network, but now how do you find someone in the network? And so to find a provider on our website, I know the slide says find a provider, but we just made a change in our to find providers, and now it reads find a health provider. So you click on find a health provider, you can put in a zip code or you could put in a specific dentist name, and you're going to want to choose the classic PPO as the drop down for which network. It's the classic PPO. It's right up there in the red line. Now we do have, as we mentioned, over 582,000 access points. And so when you run a provider list like this, it's going to stop at 200 providers. After that, you're going to have to refine your search. For example, downtown Chicago, if you wanted to look up dentists in a specific downtown Chicago area and you had a 50-mile radius, it could pull up 1,800 different dental providers in our PPO. Well, if you go to print that, all of a sudden that's where you have so many sheets flying and you're like, oh, how do I stop this? So that's why we whittled it to max out at 200 providers. So in that example, that's where instead of maybe having a 50-mile radius, you'd whittle it down to 20 miles or 10 miles or 5 miles to get it under 200. And you can either play with the zip code or you can play with miles. If you notice there, Sammy is listed in green, and the providers that are highlighted in green are those that have agreed to the deepest discounts at Ameritas. So if someone like Kristen is looking for a new dentist, you may want to consider, say your dentist retires, looking for someone in green because it's going to make your annual max just stretch that much further. So these are the most cost-effective providers highlighted in green. Okay. So now we've talked about dental, let's move on to vision. And Kristen, if you have any questions or anything comes through, please don't hesitate to interrupt or let me know.
Okay.
So vision, oh, go ahead.
So for the space maintainer, there is a question that came through. Is that just for children, or would that space maintainer also be covered for adults?
That is for children. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Great
the
question.
only main one now. Lynn, I know she also asked about clicking on the client pieces. Once, because Lynn, you're just in, you're viewing the presentation, you won't be able to click on that right now, those client pieces, but you would be able to once you have that presentation on your computer in your possession. So.
Correct. And you know, a lot of times, and we know with you know, we just finished AEP, you know, with dental and vision, you can sell dental and vision 365 days out of the year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So this is, I know I've talked with a lot of agents that are now following up on after AEP, just to follow up with some who were interested in dental and vision, but didn't want to deal with it at the time because they were so focused on the medical. So no, you can talk about this. You can sell anytime throughout the year. So talking about vision, again, no waiting periods with vision. You apply today, you're going to have coverage tomorrow. We have 2 vision plans, VSP, and it's the Choice Network. And this would be considered our high plan. And the reason is, and you'll see, again with vision, just like dental, there's in and out of network benefits, but you'll see every 12 months you're eligible for a vision exam, and that's by date of service. So if you have a vision exam November 9th, you wouldn't be eligible again until the following November 9th. So every 12 months. Every 12 months you can get eyeglass lenses or contacts, and every 12 months frames. So it's a 12-12-12 contract. There is a deductible for exam for lenses, and you'll see that if you go to someone in network, how your lenses are covered in full versus if you go out of network. The frame allowance or the contact allowance is $150. And you'll see there is a fit and follow-up exam for contacts. That is the member cost. And then also some of the bells and whistles for lenses, like if someone wants anti-reflective or scratch-resistant coating, how those are covered. Where if you go out of network, they're not covered. Now, VSP was started by eye doctors, and it tends to be more of your independent eye doctors, but now they are starting to reach out, and they do have some retail providers, as you can see there, Costco, Optical, and Walmart, Sam's, for example, and you can even order online. So this would be the high plan. Now the low plan would be iMed, and this is the select. So if you go to VSP.com, look up choice, or you go to imed.com and you look up select network, this is where you can find providers. And there will be some crossover between both, but iMed tends to be more of your retail providers, like your lens crafters and your Pearl Visions. But this would be low, considered the low plan, because it's a 12-24-24 contract. Still, every 12 months, you're eligible for an exam from data service. Every 24 months, lenses or contacts. You can get lenses or contacts. Every 24 months, frames. There is a deductible for the exam and for the lenses. And you can see how the lenses are covered in full in network, but how they're covered out of network. And this has a frame, this plan has a frame or a contact allowance of $130. And you'll see again the bells and whistles of scratch resistant coating or anti-reflective, how they're covered in network versus no benefit out of network. So they're definitely, these plans are definitely meant to steer the member towards a network provider for the greatest benefit. Just like with the dental, and just like, for example, a member, your client, for their medical. You want to steer them in network versus out of network for greatest benefit. Now, some of the questions you could ask your client when you're talking about vision would be, how often do you get lenses or contacts or frames? Do you get it every 12 months or every 24 months or 36 months or 48 months? Also, where do you tend to seek care? Who is your eye doctor? And, you know, what is your budget? The high plan is going to be a little more expensive. It's a little more benefit rich. Or do you want the low plan? So those are our vision options. Kristen?
And I did have a few questions that came in just before we get into more of the technology. So is there an out of network form that you could provide agents when the out of network dental provider refuses to bill directly to obtain reimbursement?
A form for an out of network, is it for dental or vision?
Dental.
For dental, we don't have a form. And that's a great question, whoever asked that question, because Ameritas is unique in the fact that if if a member goes to an out-of-network dental provider, if that provider will send the claim form into Ameritas, Ameritas would process it as if that provider was in network, and we would pay that out-of-network provider, and then that out-of-network provider can just bill their client what they would owe. But in the question being asked, if that out-of-network will not do that for the member and submit it into Ameritas, we don't have what was I going to say? Out-of-network claim form. They would just need to submit it into, I'm sorry, I'm getting tripped up. I'm going to look for that. That's a great question on the dental. I've never been asked that form. I believe the member just submits it into Ameritas, but I've never seen a claim form. But that's a great question. I will ask about that. And if so, I'll send it to you, Kristen, to send it out.
Okay.
But I've not seen the dental claim form. We do have out-of-network on the vision claim forms. Those do exist if someone goes out of network. And those are on our website.
Okay.
And I can send you the
And Brett, we can also follow back up with you on that. I know you had a follow-up comment regarding that. Brett did have another question that's specific to the credit for prior coverage. So does it ask specifically about prior coverage on the application to waive the waiting periods, or does it need to be communicated directly to Ameritas through another method?
It will, when someone applies for coverage, at the end when they're checking out, so to speak, we're going to ask, when did their prior coverage end? Who is it with? And who, they're going to ask a couple different questions to make sure that they do qualify. Now, we don't ask for like scan your ID card, or we're going to ask for the policy number, but you don't need to scan an ID card to submit it. But Ameritas does reserve a right, should they have questions about it or with a specific claim, they could then follow up with that carrier with your policy number just to verify dates. But that's all we ask, and it's just in the checkout portion.
Okay, so it's right at the beginning, with the application then. Okay.
Yep, with the application.
One last question, and then we can move on. Can you use the dental and vision to supplement a person's employer plan?
Yes, you can have an individual dental or an individual vision plan with an employer plan. We do not coordinate benefits on the individual. So Ameritas would pay primary on the individual plan. Now, the only difference would be you cannot have an Ameritas group plan and an Ameritas individual plan, dental or vision. But if they had another group plan that was not Ameritas, you can have that. We just don't coordinate benefits like they do, for example, if you have two group plans, if someone's spouse has a plan and, the other spouse has another group plan, how group plans will coordinate, but with individual, we do not coordinate with group plans or with other individual plans.
Okay, great. All right, we can move on now.
Okay. So for you as agents, what do we have to help support you? We have a producer portal, an agent marketing site, and we have Sales Connect, and we're going to talk about each one of those. So to start with, the producer portal. This is basically once you get appointed through Jetter and you receive a welcome letter from Ameritas, you are going to, and in that welcome letter, it will have a unique URL link, and this is what you're going to use for your clients to enroll in. But once you are set up in our system and appointed, you can create a sign up for the producer portal. And the producer portal is going to let you see commission statements. It's going to let you see your block of business, download commission statements. You can order ID cards for your clients. And also there's going to be the quick links there to look up providers. And you'll see here are a couple different, there's, learn more how to get set up with the producer portal. It'll be a step-by-step process there. But if you have any questions about the producer portal, on the left there, producerportal.ameritas.com, they will be able to assist with that. As Jetter's not able to see into this, Lori Terry's not able to see in, but the producer portal at Ameritas, they will offer agent support for you. Now, if someone enrolls today and their effective date is not until March 1st, they're not going to show up in your producer portal until the effective date. But it's a great way to track your book of business. And if someone says that they're applying, to just make sure that it comes through and you're getting credit for that. So this is, again, kind of a step-by-step to help you get set up with that. And now the agent marketing site. This is awesome. This is something you're probably going to want to keep as a favorite. This is where all of your marketing materials are going to be to help you sell dental and vision. And at the very end, I'd like to come back to that, but there's going to be a live link there to visit the website, and it has agent resources for you. It has information that is forward facing that you can share with your clients. There's training resources. There are already pre-crafted social media posts, so you can just copy, paste, and post this on social media. You can integrate this information in emails. There's just a whole wealth of information, but also the state-specific plans and plan designs. As we know, in all 50 states, not all states are created equal. So there are a few states where the dental plans are going to be a little bit different, or the vision plan. And I mentioned we have product in all 50 states. The only one state we do not have, we have dental, but we do not have vision, and that is in Maryland. But all of this information is going to be here. And if someone asks you for a brochure or kind of a highlight sheet for the value plan in Nebraska or the total plan, you can just copy that link, a URL link with a plan, and send it to them. We have live links. So this is a great marketing site, and I hope at the end we can come back to this, but great information. Sales Connect, if you have any questions, for example, on how is an implant covered, or how something is, a detail in a plan cert that's more detailed than the highlight sheets that you see in the marketing site, Sales Connect is your great resource. And you'll see on the left there, their email, they have a chat function, English, Spanish, but they will help you sell. If you have questions about your URL link, or your link isn't working, or they will be able to assist with that. And if you have any marketing requests, or you have a member who is changing addresses, or they want to go from the access plan to the total plan, they will help you make any plan changes. They're awesome. Can't say enough about Sales Connect. So member support, now you've enrolled a client in a dental or vision plan. What's out there for your client? So they can create, after they apply, within an hour, they can go in and create a member online account. And that in the upper right-hand corner, it's a step-by-step that you can they can share. You can share with your client on how they can create their account, and they can view their plan documents. They're going to be able to print ID cards immediately. They can walk through their EOBs, which are explanation of benefits. They can tweak any billing information. They can look up providers. So this is the online, this is for your client. And Kristen, you can't get into it. Our jetter, they're not able to get into the member account. This is just for the member. So if they have questions, they will send to you and you can contact Sales Connect. Customer Connections, this is our claim center. And we have won awards year after year, and I promise they're not awards that we made up and we gave to ourselves. They come from an outside source, Benchmark Portal Center of Excellence. We have a great claim center. All of our call centers are in the United States. We have Spanish, multilingual interpretation services, and you can see on the side there the contact information for claims, billing, account information. And this is information you can share with your client. So if they have a question about a dental claim, they can call direct and talk to someone about their claim. Ordering ID cards. Now I know ID cards are kind of a hot item. I promise you, no one needs to have an ID card to seek care, whether it's VSP, IMED, or Ameritas Dental. But we all know that there's something about ID cards that clients like to have, because when they have them, they feel like they have coverage. And so if someone needs an ID card, they lost an ID card, or they're not in the member portal and they don't know how to print them out, you can also order ID cards by phone for your clients or through the producer portal as well. And this is how you do that. This is just some information to share with you in regards to AEP, OEP, about Medicare. So information to read on your own if you'd like. And selling is easy. So once you get appointed and the appointment paperwork is sent into Ameritas, you're going to get a welcome email. And in that welcome email is going to have your unique shopping URL in that. And that's what you can copy, paste that URL link. You can share it. You can put your URL link in emails. You can put it in a signature line. You can share it on social media posts. And this is how individuals apply for coverage. And there's 3 ways with that link they can apply for coverage. You can email it to them and they can apply at any time, 24/7 for coverage. Or you can be sitting next to someone and you pull up your link, you ask them the questions, and you walk through. We ask name, address, date of birth, information like that. We do not ask about social security numbers, but you can apply for them because we don't require wet signature. Or you can do it over the telephone. Say you have family and you live in Nebraska, but you have family in Wisconsin and you want to help someone get coverage there. You can ask them the questions and apply over the phone. So, and it's easy. Remember, it's all zip code rated, not age rated. So you put in the zip code and then it's going to ask, do you need dental? Yes or no. Do you need vision coverage? Yes or no. How many people need coverage? Is it for 1 person? 2? Is it for a family of 10? And then once you click that, it's going to pull up all your plans. Now on this, you'll see at the top where it says agent and it says your contact information. When you get your URL link, hover over that agent kind of icon and your contact information should populate or pull up. That's how you know that that URL link is tied to you so that you get credit, commission credit for it. Likewise, down below in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see if they click on that, there's website accessibility features where if they want to change the font size, make it bigger, if they want to change the font, they can do that so it's easier for someone to work through the application process. So once you click, all the dental plans are going to pull up and you can run a proposal for a client and then you can share it. You can email it to them, put in their zip code, who needs coverage, the questions that I just went through, you can share it. Or you can compare plans. And you'll also know that there, you can see there in the blue where it says view plan details. There's more benefit information. It'll talk about the total access value. It'll be more information about each one of those plans. And this is what the comparison looks like. And once they apply, the policyholder is going to get a confirmation email, and so will you as the agent. So you can let them know they should be receiving a confirmation email just within a few minutes after applying. If they don't, they should let you know, and then let Sales Connect know to say, Bob Smith from Lincoln, Nebraska, here's his address, date of birth, some identifiers, and you can verify, did his application actually go through? And this last page, again, a couple live links, a little bit more about Ameritas, a little bit more about our products for your viewing pleasure, and some great additional information. So, Kristen, are we able to go back to, oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good. We'll go back. I do have one question.
Okay.
And I believe it's pertaining to, Lynn is asking, I'm thinking she's talking about customer service. Can customer service handle hearing impaired?
You know, that is a great question. I believe they can, but I am going to double check, and I will get back to you, Kristen, on that.
Yeah, that is a good question. They've been all great questions here today.
Really. So if you can click on that, visit the website.
I clicked on the wrong one. Okay, let me just get out of this one. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Nope, either one is good.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure if you need to reshare the screen or not, if that's going to pull up.
Can you see it now?
I can see it. And maybe everyone will see it too.
Yes.
If not, so let's click on Agent Resources and just scroll down a little bit. You'll see right there, it has information on Ameritas product information, FAQ, general information about Ameritas, some sales tips. This is basically information for you as an agent, and some training videos. And as a heads up, we just updated this less than a month ago, and they're in the process of continuing to add information to this. So something that can be a great resource to check in on from time to time, as they're constantly adding to this. So now if we could go up to the top again, and it has share with clients. And as you scroll down there, these are the dental plans that total the access and the values on the left-hand side. And if you just, can you click on just the plus sign there, Kristen, on one of them? Yeah, perfect. Yep. So here are the access plans, and it's the Access MAC plan. But you'll see their second one down, Connecticut, Illinois. Those are their state-specific plans. And Kansas, Kentucky, Texas, for example, Missouri, they're going to have their state-specific plans, or New York. The same with the total, the value. Won't go into all of these, but those are state-specific. We have filed the same plans, but you know, Commissioner of Insurance, sometimes there's certain things they require that we have to follow. Now you'll also see on the left-hand or the right-hand side there, the same brochures in Spanish as well.
And the MAC means, that acronym is?
The max allowable charge.
Okay.
Yep. Now, when you see, you may see some plans and you're like, oh, where did this come from? Some of their plans can be sunset plans, but everything here that you see right now is up to date, current plans, what's being sold now. And under the vision, you'll see choice, the select, so the VSP, the iMed, and when you go down to the basic plan, this plan You'll see a couple state specifics there. These are states where we can't sell individual VSP or IMED. So these are a basic indemnity plan that's only sold in those states. And again, you'll see Spanish vision brochures, general vision information that you can share with clients, like, why is vision important? There's videos there that you can share with your clients, or you can copy paste, you can post. And then just additional resources for you. And this information like the pre-crafted social, you don't have to recreate the wheel, just copy, paste, and post. And, this is all information that can be forward facing that you can share with your client. You don't have to recreate the wheel, educating why these benefits are important. So I just wanted to take a second to share, but it's a great resource for agents.
For sure. I know you guys make it so easy. Definitely.
Awesome.
So,
and that's all I have, unless you have other questions. Or
I think we can handle all the other questions that are here, and then I'll get with you too on the various different follow-ups that we had throughout the call. So thank you again, Lori, for taking the time out and presenting today on the Ameritas products. Great products, and I personally have to say, and I know, Lori, you know this, I have 2 kiddos that went through orthodontics, or my daughter's almost done, and I had to get another dental plan, and I went with Ameritas. And from personally speaking, it has been a breeze. So easy to work with and easy to sign up for coverage. And when I went to the orthodontics office, they literally got excited that I have Ameritas, because it's so easy for them to work with you. So, and the chat feature within the website is awesome. Just very tentative and quickly response, and just awesome company to work with. So is Wisdom Teeth a part of then the major 3? Would that be?
Wisdom Teeth are kind of a different animal. A lot of times they end up being covered under medical. And sometimes you can have, 3 teeth removed, and a couple, they can be coded different ways. We do not require pre-authorization for any of our plans, but whenever you're dealing with something like wisdom teeth or crowns or implants, I encourage people to ask their dentist to send what they want to do, whatever work the dentist wants to do, because there are so many different procedure codes and how they are covered. Ask them to send it into Ameritas to pre-authorize. So there's no questions about who's responsible for what or how it's going to be covered. And it just avoids surprises. And once you do have something pre-authorized, those quotes are good for 6 months. So it doesn't mean once you have the pre-authorization, you have to have the work done right away. It's good for 6 months. But depending on how you can coordinate with medical, sometimes it's under the dental. So there's some variations.
Great. And the mini launch that is on March 28th with some of those additional states. So could you have someone apply at literally 7:01? Is that Central Time? Is that, if somebody's really eager to get some coverage, or do you wait to have them apply on the next following day, or what would you suggest?
I would, when they go in, yes, it's 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you're on the West Coast or Mountain Time, be aware it's 7 p.m. Central Time. And could you at 7:01? Yes, in a perfect IT world with no glitches and everything, great. When they do apply, the questions for those states, when they're checking out, they're going to ask them for their prior carrier. They're going to ask them for the effective date when they term coverage. and who the carrier is. So if that would not pull up for some reason, then potentially there's a glitch, and I wouldn't do it. I'd wait for the next day or to make sure that that is applicable. But in a perfect world, that's what we were given, so I'm sharing it. But we all know how IT is, right, Kristen?
Yeah.
Yes, but otherwise 701 should be a totally perfect time to apply for it. And I hope they do.
All right. Okay, well, thank you again, Lori, and thank you all for attending today. And really come to us for any questions. If you have anything today, tomorrow, next week, you can contact us, anyone on the senior health team at seniorhealth@jetter.com or at 800-228-0008 and ask for any of the team members in senior health, and we can definitely assist you with Ameritas for the dental, vision, and hearing. But also, as you can see on the left-hand side, there's tons of different lines of business in which we work with agents each and every day. So been in the business since 1979, and just well-rounded support system here, underwriters, specialists within each line of business. So we are here and happy to help. And so we'll let everybody go. Thanks again. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.